Okay, welcome everyone. We'll just wait a minute until people jump in. And I'm going to plug my laptop in so it doesn't die. So if you're on and you can hear me or see me, let me know just by typing in the comment box. And we will get started very, very shortly. I see that one person's on. Can you just comment and let me know that the sound is working? Okay, 2 people are on. Somebody hopefully comment and let me know that you can hear me. Sound is good. Awesome. Thanks, Christine. Thanks, Jamie. I appreciate it. Hey, Kim. And Dave's gonna do it with me too. But he doesn't want to be on camera. Maybe we can convince him to come on eventually. No, he doesn't want to. Okay, so you should all have the worksheet in front of you. If you don't, make sure you quickly scroll down just before this video. You will have seen, Kim says hi, Dave.
Hi, Kim.
You will have seen that I posted it in the group, and it's best if you print it out, but if for some reason you want to just do it like you have a notebook, for example, you can scribble out the questions and that's fine too. The worksheet's just easy to follow, and it'll be something that you can hold on to throughout the year when you're feeling stuck, when you kind of need a little bit of inspiration, and yeah, anytime you want to refer back to it, it's there. So if you have it in front of you, awesome. If not, I totally understand. So hopefully we'll finish this in about an hour, I would say. I believe each bucket, so there's 3 buckets that we're going to cover that you might have seen. Each bucket will probably take us about 20 minutes. And we're doing more like high level stuff. So afterwards, you may want to sit back down, review, and kind of dissect everything again and really just hone in on the pieces of this that spoke with you, right? Because maybe not everything's going to resonate. You may be more passionate about, you know, doing career planning versus your health planning, or maybe vice versa. Health is more important to you. But again, it's important that we address all of these areas, because really, if you're so out of whack in one area, but you're doing really well in another, you're imbalanced, and that's not very holistic, and there's room for improvement, right? So we're all every day trying to make each of these buckets a little bit better, and I hope that through this workshop you can hone in on some of the changes that you may want to make in 2018. So 2017 was a great year, and I think that it's important to take this time. So I'm really grateful that you guys are all on live on Instagram and Facebook to actually devote time to yourself. Like, this is super important. So I honor you for being here, and let's get started. So I'm just going to flip over to my worksheet here. Okay, so first area that we are going to cover is life. And the reason why we're going to start with this is because ultimately every single day you want to make sure that you are walking out the life that not only that you want, but that you're really here to have. And I think so often we think that life happens against us, or that our days are not needing to be, you know, fulfilling, or we're not happy with what really constitutes our days. And that can be changed. I mean, we're in full control of our lives, whether you want it to be adventuresome or you really enjoy your downtime. I want us to, through these exercises, just take some time to really understand the life that you want and work towards creating that, okay? So let's go through the first question here. And all of these, I should say, I've pulled from my favorite podcasts, my favorite books, my favorite inspiring entrepreneurs in health and wellness and business. And so this is a compilation that I've created. I haven't copied it from anyone, but I've really taken inspiration. So hopefully you'll feel inspired as I did as I was creating this. So first question, living a full life would include lots of these 5 things. So take a minute to jot that down. And I'm going to do this alongside you guys too. So living a full life would include lots of these 5 things. And just go with the scribbles, okay? And if you don't think of 5 or you think of more than 5, that's fine. You can stop at 5 though. I think that's lots of content for us to go off of. Living a full life would include lots of these 5 things. All right, we're gonna move on just to keep this rolling. So you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Who do you want to hang around with more in 2018? So our life is literally compromised of the things that we do and the people we hang out with. And so it's so important to take a moment and just think, who do you want to be spending more time with in 2018? And I don't necessarily mean like out of your friend circle, like who should you devote your Friday nights to and who should you not. But why I say you can think out of the box is that for me, I listen to a lot of podcasts. So I feel like I hang out with a lot of people virtually. And if you feel as though, you know, the people who maybe inspire you or drive you to achieve your dreams or whatever you want, if you feel that those people are, you know, the people you watch on YouTube or your business mentors that you've never met before who have blogs, definitely write those people down, because if you spend an hour with someone in your ears through a podcast, I really think that that's extremely influential on what you're going to be able to, the visions you're going to create and how you're inspired each day. So definitely write that portion down. I know that quote is so kind of like overused sometimes, that you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most, but it's true. Like we really start to take on, you know, the activities that our friends do, and we take on just their attitudes and, you know, what they like, we like. So it's just important to constantly be evolving and analyzing, who am I giving? I mean, there's only so many hours in the day outside of your work, and so it's important to hone in on this. All right, so moving forward in our life bucket, so I want you to journal on a few things. And this is an exercise that I got from one of my fitness mentors, who is Sean T, and he's the creator of Insanity and of T25 and a couple other workout series. So first off, I want you to write down, what things do you do daily that you hate? And I know that's a strong word, but if there's anything in your day that you really don't like, that could be your job. That could be, you know, whatever, walking your dog or things like that. You need to hone in on what it is you're doing that you're really not enjoying. Okay, so take a moment to scribble that down. After that, I want you to cover things that you do daily that are manageable. And these are more things that are like the mundane, okay? So things that you do, you need them to get by in life, but they're maybe not lighting you up in any sort of way. So again, go through that. And then the final bucket there, I want you to write down the things that you do in a day that give you energy, okay? So things that light you up, things that are exciting. So take a minute to go through these 3 things. So things you do daily that you hate, that are manageable, and that give you energy. And the reason why we do this, I'll just quickly cover as you guys go through this, is because most people are spending 80% of their life or time doing things they dislike in some form. Okay, so that's just statistic that it's kind of sad, actually, that we've come to a point where we fill our lives and feel the need to do more than 50% of things that we don't actually want to be doing. Like if we could drop everything, we would probably drop 80% of those things. So write those down. 1 or 2 bullets in each is totally fine. The purpose, again, is to just bring some awareness to things that are not lighting you up, that you're filling your day with. Dave's got questions over here.
Just because it's manageable, does that mean you don't like it? You do it just to survive, or I don't get
Manageable is things that they're like the mundane things that you probably can't get rid of, but you do them and you need to do them in order to live this life. So manageable might be like your work, for example. You don't love it, it doesn't give you energy, but
it does.
hey Melissa, welcome. We are just at the bottom of the first page here, so the life page. So if anyone's just joining in, I see a lot more people have joined. Just pick up where we left off. Okay. So hopefully you have finished that. Again, we're really just bringing things to the front of our consciousness here, okay? So that's why we're writing all these things down. So I want you guys to go to the next page of the life. So the top question here is, if I were to design my life MBA, what courses would I add in this year? So the whole concept of life MBA, you may have seen me post about this on Instagram last week. Again, it was inspired from a podcast I was listening to. And, you know, so many people, they go to school post undergrad or whatever program they enroll in, and they're spending like $10,000 to $20,000 on tuition every year. And, you know, they're paying their living expenses, and that's probably $100,000 investment in their MBA, for example. And so for those of you who may not have done that, we may have missed out on investing in, you know, a good chunk of our years. So the concept here is that you should never feel guilty about investing in yourself if it's not necessarily school related. So just in the sense of dreaming big and imagining making, you know, big leaps in your life, if you had $100,000 for your life MBA, what courses would you add in this year? So you're designing your own program to get yourself to, you know, a better place in your career or in your life. So this could be as simple as sewing classes, and you really want to add that in so that you can start making your own clothing. Or your life MBA could consist of actually, you know, mentoring with, if you want to get into sports marketing, mentoring with someone who does that, or doing an internship or things like that. So I want you to think about what courses you might add into your life MBA this year. Because I'm passionate in social media, I want to invest in a Facebook course that can help me understand Facebook ads and the algorithms and all the things that lay eyes on content. And I've always felt like guilty spending money on this, but again, like this is an investment in my future and in my work. So I want you guys to scribble down which courses you really think would help you to make these leaps in your life. And if you're curious about this life MBA concept, you can just look at Tim Ferriss. I think he has a blog post, and in his most recent podcast about him chatting through his questions, he talks a little bit more about this, and it's really, really neat. And maybe you guys can shout out a couple. So if you're feeling comfortable and you want to share, what courses are you wanting to take in 2018? They can be real courses, fake courses, whatever the case is. Networking, awesome. So Dave wants to add in a networking course, or at least events, yeah.
But how to sell yourself, how to like market yourself, how to meet people.
Yeah. Very cool. And that's an important one too, because that can help us so much. Anyone else want to share what courses they might add into their life MBA? I know a lot of people don't like to share these things. They're kind of private. I'm just going to move this video camera that I have. All right. No one's going to share. Everyone's shy tonight. Okay. Social media training. Awesome, Nicole. That's wicked. There's so many good ones too. Here in Toronto, there's one called Camp Tech, or there's Brain Station. I did a Brain Station course last year and it was really, really great. All right, let's move on. So, adding in a coaching course. Oh, amazing, Jamie. That's so good to hear. Okay, so in my most fun life, ... This is like vision boarding, okay? So it's like word vision boarding. In my most fun life, ... In my most inspired life, ... In my most freedom-filled life, ... This is for you to run with. There's no right answer. That's awesome, Melissa. That sounds like a really good course. And hopefully now that you've said these things, you guys, you will actually be more inclined to take action on them, right? Because I believe that once you put things out into the universe, or you tell somebody, your accountability level, or just the fact that it's fresh in your mind will be so much stronger. So that's awesome. Okay. So in my most fun life, in my most inspired life, and in my most freedom-filled life. And then once you guys have written that, in summary, if you had a magic wand, what would your best life look like? I know these are very loaded questions, but it's better to have a grander vision and pull back than to think that 2018 has to be playing small, because it really doesn't. It can be your biggest year. Yeah, you can make huge leaps, but you actually have to believe that you're able to, take these massive leaps. So again, dream big. If you had a magic wand, what would your best life look like? Hey, Allison, welcome. Okay. Let's move on and finish the life bucket, because we're coming up on about 20 minutes of doing our life vision boarding. And then we're going to move on to health. So a couple quick questions here. So I feel I have crafted a life that I really love. Yes or no? Or if it's a maybe, that's totally fine. I feel I express my truest self each and every single day. So go ahead and answer that one. Because I really do believe that when you come into alignment with your truest self and who you really are and what you're here to do, you will make the biggest footprint on the world, and your business or your passion for what you do will just radiate out of you when you are being your true self, right? Because people can sense that. When it's not forced, it grows. I devote enough time to personal development. Yes or no? I am a true believer that success never happens by accident. And from what I hear, that is truly the case. It's the people who are disciplined and have that strong vision and know why they're doing what they do who create the most freedom for themselves. And the last question, this year my life theme or theme song will be ... So last year my word for 2017 was clarity. So everything I did, I really focused it back to does this get me clearer on my path or my direction, or is it just diluting what I need to do? So I always thought last year the word clarity, clarity, clarity. and it drove a lot of the decisions that I made throughout the year. So I even had it in a frame on my desk for the majority of the year, so it really helped. So life theme or theme song. Theme song would just be fun. Okay, so that is the life portion of our visioning, okay? So this is your umbrella of everything that falls into your life and under your daily to-dos, right? So I want you to obviously take a look back at this. We'll cover a little bit more at the end of our workshop today, but I really want you to make sure that you have a good image of the discrepancy between what you're clearly desiring and perhaps what you're living out right now. And with some intention, how can we get a little bit closer to what you've put on paper? Okay, so let's flip over to our health. And I love this one as a nutritionist and a health coach. I know that if you don't have your health, it's really hard to enjoy your life or make advancements in your career. And if you're not operating from a place of really incredible, vibrant energy and health, then again, you're not motivated or inspired to make shifts in the other areas of your life. So first, to start off, we're gonna do a little grading exercise on ourselves. And it's a scale of 1 to 10. And 1, it means this bucket of your life is very poor. 10 means you've perfected this area of your health or your life. And 5 means it's okay. Like, it's fine, it's average, I'm not doing poorly, but I'm not succeeding very much in it. I have eliminated the number 7 because studies show that when people are feeling a little confused or they feel like, yeah, I'm doing fine, they'll just circle 7. And 7 is like that middle ground that doesn't really tell you whether you're operating at a really good place or if you're just sucking. So there is no number 7. If you feel like it's a 7, you actually have to choose a 6 or an 8. All right? So if you saw my Instagram stories, you saw that I was doing a little teaser of this, but I really like the concept because 7 is always the go-to, and we're not going to play at an average 7 level this year. So sleep. Rate it. Supplementation, nutrition, movement, hydration, self-care, emotional health, stress management, immune health, and happy home. So I want you to go through all of those and just rank where you're at with those right now. Now, there are obviously many more pillars of health, but these are the ones that I teach in my 30-day lifestyle cleanse. So just for simplicity, I wanted to pull them over because I know that these are really important ones, okay? Obviously not all of them. We don't really talk about like relationships here. I guess that can fall under happy home, but go for it.
What's immune health?
Immune health would be like if you're getting sick a lot.
Do I get sick?
Yeah. I mean, if your immune health is low, then you want to work on it. Because if you're sick, you're not really operating from the best place. If you guys have any questions as I go through this, just put them in the comments of the Instagram or Facebook feeds, because I can see them all. And if anything is just unclear or, yeah, if you need support, I'm happy to help. And welcome to the new people who just joined. Super excited to have you on. So once you guys are done rating yourself, I want you to write down what key pillar of your health from above requires the most attention right now. All right, so is it your movement? Maybe you haven't been scheduling an exercise. Or on the contrary, maybe you're really good at scheduling an exercise, but your diet sucks. Then you refuel with like candy and pop. So which key pillar of your health requires the most attention? And by right now too, I mean early 2018. So this is going to be the pillar that you start off the year really focusing on and keeping it top of mind so that everything you do is driven by wanting to make an improvement in this area of your life. Branching off of that, what changes would you like to see within this pillar? So if you chose sleep as your one that you need to work on, maybe you're only sleeping 5 hours a night and you're staying up really late, the changes you might like to see would be, for example, that you want to sleep more, that you'd like to go to bed earlier, that you'd like to, find some little tips and tricks that could make your bedroom more calm. And then after that, I want you to write down what would need to happen for me to make this necessary change. What would need to happen for me to make this necessary change? Because obviously with any change in routine comes sacrifice, right? And obviously a disruption in what you're used to. So things, in order for them to change, we have to consciously alter our habits and what it is that we're doing that's sabotaging us. So write a few things that would need to change down. And then just as a little side note, each month you're going to want to revisit this. So get a fresh scale with these key pillars and rate yourself once again, okay? Because you're going to want to revisit it once a month's time is generally enough for you to craft a new habit around your one key pillar, and then you move on and say your sleep's good now, but your self-care is really poor. So you'll shift it each month. All right, you can flip over your page for health. And I want you to just scribble out, what does your current morning routine look like? And for some of you, you may think, I do not have a morning routine. I roll out of bed and I go to work in my car. And right there, then you've kind of brought awareness to the fact that, hey, maybe if I woke up, 30 minutes earlier, went for a 10-minute walk, made my tea or my coffee and sat in peace and quiet and journaled for a little bit, whatever the case is, then you bring attention to it. So what does your current morning routine look like? What are the things you do to promote health in the morning? Because we're still on the health topic here. And then also scribble out your evening routine. So I just created a YouTube video just outlining the new evening routine that I've created, which includes reading, taking a bath, and a few other things in order for me to not be scrolling social media for an hour before bed. I'm really trying to make improvements on that. Once you've covered your morning routine and your evening routine, take a minute to scribble out your health word for the year. So just like you had your life theme, and like I told you, my word last year with my business and life was clarity, because I was working a lot of different jobs at the time, and everything was diluting each other, so clarity became really important to me. And so I want to know what your health word is this year. So when you get stuck, or when you have maybe a month or a week or a day where you just feel derailed from your health goals, then you come back to this word and you think, this is what I want to feel in my body right now, or this is, the vision I have for my health in 2018. For some of you, it'll be energetic or vibrant, or, maybe it's mindful. Okay, moving on. Describe how you physically feel in your body right now in a few words. Awesome, Jamie. Thank you for sharing that. I love that word. So Jamie said strong as her health word. Dave, did you have a health word?
Dedication.
Dedication. That's a good one. And what will you feel if you're dedicated, though?
Maybe commitment is a better word.
Commitment to?
But feel committed?
Okay, so describe how you physically feel in your body right now. Okay, so this is to bring awareness to what's going on in 2017. Do you feel weak, slow, or are you feeling strong and vibrant? Are you feeling like you're at your peak? Okay, now I want to know, what percentage of your best health are you operating at? So actually, let's kind of go down to the question below. It says, things I am currently doing to sabotage my health include. Okay, so if you scribble out a few things that you're currently doing to sabotage your health, and I don't mean this in like such a detrimental way, but perhaps you're eating late at night, or maybe you're not eating enough, or potentially you are, staying out too late and partying on the weekends. So you're going to jot these things down. Things you do that maybe aren't in alignment with the health that you want to experience in 2018. And then from there, I want you to kind of deduct yourself points out of this circle that I've given you. So the circle totaling 100% of your health. And maybe the nights you stay out partying, maybe it's every Friday night. So you kind of deduct yourself like 15%, for example, because that's, affecting quite a lot of your life. And then from there, I just want you to scribble out, what percentage of your best health are you operating at? And it's okay if you feel as though you're only, coming from a place of like 20% healthy habits and the rest not going so well. Again, like I said, the important part is to be conscious of it so that you can actually make improvements, right? So once you have those things that you feel are not really, contributing to your health, that might be sabotaging it, just kind of subtract them from 100% and see where you're at. Like, how detrimental are these things? And when you're done that means we can move on to work. And again, at the end, I will give you kind of like the quick lowdown on how you can take these 3 pillars, the info you just scribbled out, and start putting it into action. Because, of course, knowledge without action is quite useless. So really, ultimately, at the end of our goal setting today, you want to have a plan for how you can move yourself forward and advance yourself, knowing what you know through these exercises. All right, so you guys can flip over to the career or work sheet, which is page 6, I believe. So creating our want to career path, not our have to career path. So we'll cover a lot of the work that you're doing now, and then for those of you who kind of are thinking that you want to branch into maybe a new line of work or hone in a little bit more on a side hustle, I have a spot for that as well. So just tick off at the top, I am currently working my dream job, in a transition time with my work. I work a job that's okay, but have some passion projects on the side, looking for something inspiring or other. So just kind of hone in on where you're at right now with the work thing. And then you're going to move on to what are your goals with your job or your side hustle, whatever you want to focus on here. If you're really happy in your full-time job, I want you to focus on the goals for your job. If you're not happy in your job and you really have this side business, maybe you make little crafts or something like that, focus on that. So jot down 5 rough goals that you want to achieve in your work or your side hustle or your imaginary side hustle that you'd like to get started in 2018. If you have something kind of in your head, you can start putting it down on paper here. That's totally fine. Focus on whatever line of work like really lights you up and that you know is going to stick with you in 2018. So 5 rough goals. All right, so next up, we're going to chat about what would be the path to achieving these goals if it were easy. So how would you kind of bridge what your goals are and where you're at now if it was just super easy? Like if it was asking for a promotion, and that would be so easy. If it were just, getting your website up and running so you could sell your product that you make at home, that's pretty easy. All right. If you had nothing but free time, what would you do today and tomorrow to start reaching these goals? So again, a little bit along the lines of what would you do if it were easy? But if you had the time, because I know that for a lot of people, the barrier between, where they're at and what they want to do is the excuse of time or a true lack of time, right? Or just different priorities. So what would you do today or tomorrow to start bridging that gap? All right. So in terms of your work or the business you dream of creating, again, whatever path you've chosen for this exercise, what is it that people want from you? So think about it. What is it that people want from you? From you or your business? So there's obviously some sort of demand on you, whichever line of work you're in. So scribble out, what do people need from you on a daily basis? Then write down who are your potential or what are your potential or current customers willing to pay for. So obviously with any business, you provide a lot of free value, but at some point we need to make money. So if you are in more of an entrepreneurial role, this will apply more to you. But what do your customers, what are they willing to pay for? Because this actually might give you a cue of what it is you need to launch or what direction you need to take your business in 2018. Just doing a little bit of market research or digging. What free content or value can you offer? What free content or value can you offer to your community in order to grow your business, right? So consider this part of, we flipped over the sheet, sorry. Consider this part of, how you can expand your reach and really give people so much value. What can you give them so that they're so willing and excited to invest in your brand or your product? And if you're relating this to a full-time job, I know I'm kind of honing in more on entrepreneurs here, but if you're relating this to a full-time job, if you're looking for a promotion, say, or you're looking just to get noticed or recognized more at work, the value that you can offer is potentially planning like a career development day at your workplace, or starting a monthly social where you guys like go to a class or a workshop or do something together that people start to notice you a little bit more and you stay top of mind and they realize that you're invested in your role. And this is a question that I really love. So moving on from that, what unique life experience do you have that you can share more of to connect people to your business? So I'm a really big believer that we buy when we feel something from someone, and when we feel connected to them, and when we hear their story and we feel their story. And when people tell me, oh, I couldn't be an entrepreneur, or oh, I could never start a business like you did, I don't understand where that comes from, because we all have such a different story to share. And the people who purchase from me or support my business are different than anyone who would support, any other health coach's business. Or people often buy based on the fact that they feel connected to you because of the story you've shared and the path that you've taken to get there. And the more you share about your journey and, what it is that brought you to the business model that you're currently practicing, or what it is that brought you to the job that you're doing, people love that. They want to hear your story so that they can feel good and that they really understand who you are and the why behind what drives you to get up every morning and do this work. So what's unique about your life experience that you can share more of to really connect people with your business? For me, in my essential oils business, what really drew me to the business model was that it fit into my unconventional career path. The fact that I was working multiple different jobs and I needed something else that I could pull in, that I could build on my own time. And as much as I love sharing, natural health, I also love that this business model fit into, the lifestyle that I was already living. So I share that a lot now, and people connect with that if they're in the same spot. All right, and moving on from that, we're going to go into money stuff. So are you being compensated fairly for your current role? Yes or no? And I think people often hesitate to talk about money, but we really do need to think, hey, if I'm wanting more, what am I going to do next year to grow my business or to get myself a promotion? So to bring a little bit of awareness to this will help you immensely. Okay, what would financial freedom look like for you? So financial freedom is just having more money than you spend on a monthly basis. So what would that number be? If you feel you're being compensated fairly and you're already feeling good about this area of your life, then financial freedom might be your current salary or what you currently make. But maybe it's double what you currently make. So we got to start thinking about, how we can bridge that. And what do you feel you're worth? Okay? It's okay to feel like you deserve a lot more than you are getting, because I guarantee you that when you bring some awareness to this, you will be compensated fairly down the line. And it's kind of exciting to see that, with time and with effort, your salary will grow and you'll get to where you want to be. But it's important to know what you're working towards, because if you're slaving away 12 hours a day and you have no idea why, or no idea like what you actually want out of this, then then that's not very exciting, right? You don't know what you're working towards. It's just a wish at that point. Okay. For anyone who's building their own business, you can cover the next part with me. So this would be your online social media. So I'll run you through this. This is something you might want to come back to. But the reason why I put this in here is because I think a lot of people with their work, they don't actually put any planning into their social media, their website, their blog, and they just expect that it happens in the quiet times of their business. But ultimately, what I want to encourage you to do is put more thought and care into what you're posting and how often and when, because you're going to see consistent growth that way. And that's the best way to grow your business nowadays. It's one of the cheapest way to market yourself and your business. So if you want to just write down a few of the platforms that you're currently using, whether that's building a website and maintaining a blog, it's your Instagram, it's your Facebook, it is your Twitter feed. So write down the platforms you're using, where you're currently at with each of those platforms, and what your end of 2018 target is, okay? So if you're currently at like 500 followers or likes on your Facebook page, and you're looking to get that up to 3,000, say, then you have a discrepancy of 2,500 people that you're looking to expand your reach to and to network with. So you need to divide that number by 12 and hold yourself accountable to growing your feed by that many people each month. And if that means spending a little extra time in your business hours or your office hours, engaging with new accounts or reaching out to fellow bloggers or whatever the case is, then you need to actually devote the time to seeing it grow, because it doesn't happen accidentally. And if you're looking to, with your blog, say you're currently blogging once a month, if you want to take that to 4 blogs a month, it's really about carving out the time and recognizing that that's going to be an important piece of your business. And then I want you to write down your business word for the year. Okay? So whether you are, again, working a full-time job for someone else, or you have or are starting or are wanting to start your own side business or full-time business, I want you to write down your business word that you'll come back to when you're feeling stuck in your business or when you're feeling confused or unsure. So something that's going to inspire you to stay on track with your business. And then we are going to wrap it up with the final couple questions. And then I'll give you some quick little tips on how you can put this stuff into action. Okay, so final question here. And this is truly the one question that I think will change your business, your health, and ultimately your life. And it is so simple. So this is not overly complex, but it dawned on me one day as I was going for a run and realizing that I get all my business ideas for my doTERRA essential oils business while I'm out exercising, while I'm walking my dog, while I'm at the gym, while I'm on a bike ride or at a spin class. So I want to ensure that we cover this, and it really isn't all encompassing. So this is the stuff that's going to get you inspired to make improvements on your health, on your life, on your business. So here's what you're going to jot down. How do you get inspired? How do you get inspired? So write down 2 things, write down 10 things, whatever you can right now. How do you get inspired? And for those of you still on live, if you want to type in maybe one word or one thing that you do to get yourself inspired. I'd love to hear. Dave, do you want to share
My word?
one thing that gets you inspired? Are you following?
Yes, there's many things that get me inspired.
He's trying. Whoever's on, comment in the chat box here. Podcast. Oh my god, that is like my probably my biggest one too, Jamie. I can listen to podcasts and like get a bazillion ideas as I'm listening to them. Me. Oh. Thanks, Kim. I would reflect that sentiment back to you, actually. Because, okay, here's why I added this in. Because if you're not inspired, then you are likely going to be less inclined and less able to make improvements to your health, to your life, and to your business. Because if you're kind of just feeling meh, oh, you love podcasts too. If you're just feeling meh every day, not inspired, not ready to attack these changes and like really, feeling really good about making advancements every single day, then what's the point of doing all this planning? What is the point of having 6 pages of notes of things you want to achieve in 2018 if you have no idea how to get inspired to actually do them? So taking action is one thing, but I do really think that first you need to know what inspires you. Again, whether that's getting quiet, maybe that's going to a workshop once a month, listening to podcasts, reading books, so that you stay inspired enough to realize what you want and then push yourself to take action on them by having them written out and maybe posted like on your bulletin board in your office. So whatever it is that you wrote down that gets you inspired, never feel guilty about spending a little bit more time doing that, and try and include at least one of those things every single day. It's things you love. It's things that light you up enough to get you motivated, right? To do stuff. For me, I know that when I wake up early, when I have a good coffee, when I get my body moving, I am my most inspired and most driven self. So I do try to include that every single day in my morning routine. So the fact that I recognize that, I know that, if I can do those 3 things, I'm going to be set up for having a really, really good and productive day. And my mind is already starting to turn with thoughts and things I want to accomplish for the day. So what you're going to want to do then is really circle which of these 3 pillars, so out of life, health, or career, which one do you need to spend a little bit of extra time on right now, honing in on what it is that you want, okay? Then I want you to just review each question and kind of, get a little bit more detail down on paper. Get your word written out, get crystal clear on what goals and what the discrepancy is between where you're at today and now and where you were at in 2017 and where you need to be for 2018. And then once you have those 2 pieces, you really need to start thinking about how can I connect these? What is going to be the path and the bridge for me to get from A to B? Is it going to be having like a weekly call with someone who can help you out? Is it going to be about being more intentional about your marketing plan for your business? Is it going to be, getting a personal trainer or someone who can keep you accountable to your movement if that's your struggle with your health right now? Is it going to be about creating a vision board that has your most fun, exciting, freedom-filled life, visual for you, so that you can see it every day and, maybe monthly you check in with that and say, okay, I really love adventure, but yet I stayed cooped up in my home every day in January. So there's got to be something that I can do to kind of bridge that. So there you have it. Those are the action steps and the 2018 visionary planning. This is the system that I have used for many years, but now I have it just more formal. This will live on my YouTube channel and in my Facebook page here. So if you need to redo the exercise, or for those of you watching it on replay, the more you do this, the more clear you get on what it is that you want and where you're at, right? So just the fact that you took time today to spend an hour going through these and just getting comfortable with your thoughts and your scribbles and your words of the year. You know, if there's other things that we didn't cover that you'd like to chat about, I'd be happy to, you know, stick around for a bit and answer questions. So you can type them in the chat box. And yeah, I hope to stay connected with you guys and do monthly check-ins. And I'm active in this Facebook group and a lot on Instagram too. So sharing, you know, different life hacks, health hacks, and career tips that I absolutely love. So make sure that you follow me over on Instagram. Stay in this Facebook group where I post a lot of my business content. And if you want to collaborate in 2018, I would definitely welcome you to join in on our visionary community. And you can find a lot more information on that in the pinned post and over in my healthcare group, which is the Visionary Co. Healthcare and Essential Oils. So I will stick around for another few seconds if you guys have questions. Otherwise, I can't wait to reconnect in the new year. I hope you're taking some downtime between Christmas and New Year's and able to enjoy the fruits of your labor in 2017. Because definitely you want to reward yourself for what an amazing year you had in 2017 and recognize that even if it didn't meet your standards or what you had initially planned, there is always a silver lining looking how far you've come in the course of 365 days. So thank you guys for attending. Thanks, Jamie. And I will chat with you soon. Did you have fun? All right, I'm going to stop the recording. See you guys soon. Bye.